8 gallon a minute, 5 gallon a minute, 4 gallon a minute, House Call Pro, the customer factor. Should I do this? Should I do that? So many questions. So many questions. What's better? You know, well, this little thing has this little widget that this one don't have. And this little widget has something that this one doesn't have. And what do I need to pick? I'm just confused. I'm 3 weeks in and I haven't picked nothing. I'm 3 months in, still haven't picked nothing. Take action. So, Jason Geiman with King of Pressure Wash. And today, I want to talk a little bit about the struggles we have trying to start a business of, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? So this realization hit me like a ton of bricks today, this week. And so I was going to try to do this in a little bit better sitting down. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it while I'm walking because it's just really on my mind right now. And so I'm starting a new podcast, and I've been starting this podcast for 3 months. No, I ain't starting it 3 months ago because I was in that situation. Should I use Buzzsprout? Should I use Podbean? Should I use this? What's better? Why should I use it? And you know what happened? I never did any of it. All I kept doing is what should I do? The next reason why I never got it done is because I was like, well, I don't know how to use any of those systems. How do I need to do a podcast? I don't know how to use GarageBand. And so it was one of those things of, you just have to take action. So yesterday, I sat down on my computer. First off, coming out of Washathon, I did a speech about taking action. And this is the one step that I'm taking action. And one thing that helped me take action is accountability. At Washathon, I talked about it. And then I started posting in the groups about Washathon, about taking action. And this is the way that I'm taking action. I gave myself a week and I said, I am going to have this podcast up by the end of the week. Now, was I scared to death? Hell yes, I was scared to death. Because why? I never used GarageBand. I've never set up a podcast. I didn't know which one to use. You know, there's 10 different podcast platforms, just like there's 10 different ways to host a website. Should I use Wix? Should I use Weeble? Should I use this, that? And a lot of times in business, we get to the point of not doing anything because we want to overthink everything. You know, it's one of those things that, should we copy other people? No. Should we copy their model? Yes. And so if somebody is successful, follow that model. Not copy it word for word, but follow the model. You know, if they have a headline on their website here and a call to action button here, well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a headline option here and a call to action button here. And what will that do? That will, obviously, they're being successful. That means I'm probably going to be successful. You know, if they're running Google ads and they're spending money, then maybe I need to run Google ads and spend money. Maybe we need to, you know, we got to get out of that thing of, should I do this? Should I do that? I don't know. Because when we get into that mode could last for months, years. And you know what happens when we do that mode? Because we think we got to know how to do it perfect. And we think it's got to be perfect. It don't have to be perfect. It has to be done. You know, if you never start your business because you can't figure out, do you want to start with a 4, 5, 8, 10, 2, you'll never get started. You know, you might fail with one? Possibly. Will you learn something from it? I bet you would. Now, if you would have never started, would have you learned something? Nope, because you would have been just like, should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this or should I do that? Well, this says this, and all these people over here say this, but this says this, and all these people over here say this. Well, guess what? You know, should I downstream or should I soft wash or should I X-jet? I don't know. There's just so many decisions. Pick one and go with it. To be successful, you have to pick one and go with it. Learn all about it. After you pick it, figure it out. See what works, see what doesn't work, and figure out how to get around it. You know, I never had a soft wash system of mixer valves and all that stuff. You know what I did? I had a 50-50 batch mix. That's what I used for my downstream injector. And guess what? A 50-50 batch mix, I could hit a 12 volt and spray that right up on the roof. Now I have my roof mix. So I have my roof mix, I have my 12 volt, and I have my downstream injector. Now, you got to take action, guys. If you just sit around and think, today, I want to do this. I really want to do this. I just want to do this so much, and we never take action. It doesn't do anybody no good. It definitely doesn't do you any good. So my goal, my thing for you is set a goal by the end of the week and pick it. That's what I did. I set my goal for my podcast, and I'm going to have something up by my next live on Sunday. And guess what? That makes you sit there and say, oh crap, I have to get this done. So if you need to write something down on this video saying, I want to do this by Jason's next live, then do that to help you get ready to go out there and crush it. Because again, if you think that it's got to be perfect, it's got to be just perfect. Well, guess what? You're never going to be perfect. Never in 100 years. Because I'll tell you why it's never going to be perfect. So when I first started making videos, I thought that was perfect. I make videos today and I think they're done and good enough. But then I look back and I look at it and say, God, that looks ugly. How did anybody ever start watching me because of those videos? Because you know what I did is I took action. Oh, them birds scared the living crap out of me. So you got to take action. If you don't take action, nothing will happen. That is a guarantee. If you take action and do something and get it done and try to go on to the next thing, things will start happening for you. I promise you, they will start happening for you right now, right then. And so, you know, set goals. My goal 2 years ago on my YouTube channel was to put out 2 videos a week. I made that goal all the way up to about September, October. But that gave me 9 to 10 months to get in a habit to do something. You know, I would have never started a podcast. I wasn't thinking 2020, September, October, I'm going to start a podcast. No, I've been thinking about it. I just haven't took action. Why didn't I take action? I was scared. I didn't know how to use GarageBand. I didn't know how to set up a podcast. I've never done it. Which one do I use? Which CRM? Do I use Customer Factor? Or do I use pen and paper? Or do I use, I don't know. This one is $49 a month. This one is $44 a month. This one has this widget. That one has that widget. Which one should I use? And we do this for weeks and weeks. Pick one, learn it, and crush it. That's all you have to do. Pick one, do it, crush it. So my goal for you, and what I want you to do is set a goal. Set it a week out. Not by the end of the month, not by the end of the year, not next year. Set a goal. And here's the thing. If you're just starting business, right now it's fall, might be spring when you're watching this. Set a goal. If it's in fall, don't be like, next year, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to figure this all out next year. If that's your goal, hey, start learning. Start learning about marketing. Start building your website. Start doing something. Start building your Google My Business. Start doing your LinkedIn. But Jason, I don't know how to do all that stuff. Figure it out. Start. If you never start, you'll never figure it out. That is a guarantee. If you never start, you will never figure it out. And I'm going to go to the point of you will never be successful. You have to start, figure things out, learn it, and keep moving forward. See you in my next video.